All right, we're going to start painting this piece. As you see, I put the cigar in his mouth, and I'm going to use a brown for the shoes. Get my things here. Oh, my old eyes, they're getting to where they ain't the same anymore. I'll use a brown for my shoes. Go. We'll let that dry. And I'm going to use a blue for my jeans. So I have my water here. You know, not to paint the area where the cut is in the pants. You paint around it. Usually on the jeans you have to do a couple of coats to get it where you want it. That's okay. The darkness that you want it. And I kind of like the, you know, jeans usually that are faded, you know, they may be blue one area and a real blue one area and not blue the next and all that stuff. And since I use water, I can always beat that down or come down with it. Of course, we have the patch here, so if a little bit gets on it, that's all right. We're going to go back over that with. See, once it depends on the wood a lot of times. A lot of times when the paint dries, it's darker, but most of the time it's not. And like I see, faded jeans, they're blue in one place and not so blue in another. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint it, we're going to let it dry, and then we'll go back over it. There we go. Let me hit this little area in here. That's what I usually do. I'll let them dry, and then I'll hit them again with another heavier coat, in other words. Of course, when we antique it, it'll turn a darker blue. And I'm going to use some burnt umber for the coat. Burnt umber is a lot more than just brown. I like using burnt umber. I like the color of it. I like the texture of it. It's of course a darker brown. Like I said, my antiquing that I use, well, it becomes a darker color. That's why I use water with it. I like things to look antiqued. I'm not as a meticulous painter as a lot of people are. A lot of people say, well, it shows it. Well, it might be. But I like my carvings to look like wood. I don't like to paint them a whole deep colors, because then it looks to me like it's not wood, and that's something I don't want. I want my pieces to look sorry, excuse me, like and like I said, clothes, especially on a hobo or something like that, usually you've got to dark in one area and fading in other areas, so we just kind of okay. There's our brown, and I'm going to go back over this once again with the blue again, just to kind of finish off hit it again. Add a little bit more texture to it. That's why I say you can always, that's one thing a lot of people want to put on too thick of a coat at first. That's why I use water, because I can always put on another little bit of a coat. There we go. And I'm going to go a little bit more now, because when I use water with it, it dries very quickly, so I don't have any problem there. Dries very quickly. So by the time I'm done something else, I'm putting another coat on it. Like I said, with water, you can thin it out, you can wanted. All right, here we go. Like I said, this will, when I antique it, this will, all right, I think I'm going to make my hat black. You want to be careful with black because it's such a dominating color. You want to be careful with it, not to go too heavy on it. And your hat band, don't paint it black. We'll paint it another, maybe a brown or something like that, in other words. Black is a very dominating color, and when the hat is around, especially when the hat is around the face, you try not to get any black on the face when you're doing it, because then you have issues with your flesh tone and everything like that. All right, be careful around this and here. All right, let's see. There's our black hat. Okay, hair. Let's see. I think I'm going to go back with the brown on the hair. This time I didn't add any ears onto him. Now the original didn't show any ears, original pattern, but I could have added ears onto him, but I just said no. I'll do it like they said. Okay, I think, I'm not sure, my time is about up on this. So, yeah, it is. Okay, I'll come back.